a clip a little bit ago about like how all of this stuff like kicked off in the beginning, like how kind of it all started, but at least the time that it started was like March 16th. And it's just like it has evolved into this big, ugly, disgusting, hi New Orleans lady. This big, ugly, disgusting monster. Hi Poncho. And it's so upsetting because a couple of reasons for me personally. And I don't even know why I'm live. I felt like I just wanted to talk about it, and it's weighing on me because I hear people saying stuff, and then other people are taking that and twisting it and mocking other people and being nasty about other people about the way they say something or the way that they're sharing opinions. And, I know this is being recorded, even though I don't like my lives being recorded and I've opted out. But I know it's being recorded, so fuck it. I hope everybody hears this. Everybody needs to fucking stop. Everyone. Literally every single fucking person. And yeah, I'm talking about it, but that's it. Every single person needs to stop this nonsense. Going at each other, going after each other. Even Sheena is like someone's going to get hurt. Y'all, she's not fucking wrong. She's not wrong. And I don't just mean Chewy and Rose and Sauls. I mean everybody. We have seen not this community, all of fucking TikTok. The crazy bullshit that goes on in this community goes on in every single fucking community on TikTok. It's disgusting. I mean, foodie talk. Like they're crazier than we are. It's absolutely insane. It's mind-boggling to me how people get internet muscles. I don't understand. A lot of the people who have the most egregious behavior are middle-aged men and women. And that blows my motherfucking mind. It really does. It's not just the anti or the pro side of this gypverse. It's not a feuded community. It's not the GRB community. It's not the true crime community. It's not the stamp collectors and the fucking gardeners and all the stuff and things. I have several TikTok pages because they're geared toward different interests of mine. And I don't share them because I choose not to, because I don't want the other communities that I follow or participate in or post stuff in to be infected by the fuck shit that goes on this community. And I beg every single person who listens to this live, please, for the love of God, we are all human beings. We're humans. And I mean, people don't like me who don't even know me, and that's cool. Some people don't like me because I said a specific word that was later manipulated to sound like I said a different, really nasty version of that word. And like, that's okay. Because if you know me or you know of me or you've spent any time in a live with me or talking with me or even listening to me, then you know better. And if you don't, I'm sorry for you. That's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But here's the thing. Most people who if you came upon me in a store, we were waiting in line, let's say, to buy a dress, okay? You would probably have a great conversation. We would have a great conversation together. It could be about anything, the weather, whatever. I'm a genuinely nice person until I'm not. I'm a genuinely kind person until I'm not. Everybody has those same abilities. But why are we not practicing our real selves in this space as we do in life? Because here's the thing. People want to be anonymous on this app for a multitude of reasons. Me personally, I want to be anonymous on this app because I see how motherfucking crazy people are. They're crazy. I wish I could share more of my real life with other people. I know that there are things in my life that could be very beneficial knowledge to other people. And I'm not even going to get into what they are or the topics of them. But I can't because of how people behave on this app. And what I mean by I wish people could be more of their real, true, authentic selves is that I feel like if people were authentically themselves, I feel like all this doxing stuff would go away. Like if you're being authentically you, that means you wouldn't be out here doing fuck shit. Because most of these people who are acting crazy online are probably real decent people in real life, like not on the internet. I believe that. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm really fucking naive. I'll tell you what, I was definitely naive to how awful people are until I came to TikTok. Like I watch the news sometimes. I can't take it because the world is insane. People are so crazy. I don't understand it. Do people not leave like their acre? Like, I don't understand. I feel like if we're all out here, like so many of us admire people who are quote unquote real. You know, we admire Mimi and Audrey and people who are they're real selves. I'm my real self. What you hear is what I am. If I was sitting next to my husband or my entire family right now, I talk the same way. I talk just like this. I don't have I mean, I guess at times I can have like a customer service voice or whatever, but like, and when I'm passionate about something, this is what I sound like. I'm talking faster because I'm upset. And I wish that people were being themselves on this app. And then there wouldn't be any digging, hunting, or whatever about other people because nobody's going to be up here flexing on somebody else. And that's usually when all the fuck shit starts, right? When somebody's out here flexing, oh, you're going to do such and such to me. Well, I'm going to do such and such to you first. I'm going to do this, that, and the third. What? What? Why? Why? And you know what's funny? You don't see people on Facebook doing that. How come? Because people on Facebook use their fucking names and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's a little bit more closer to reality on an app like that. You know what I'm saying? Where because when Facebook first started, it was like, oh, you enter your name and whatever, you click off some interest, you find some of your buddies on there. This was what, 15 or so years ago? And it's like now you got people stalking, looking for people's Facebook, cross-referencing pictures, looking up ceiling tiles of somebody's job to try to figure out where they work. That's stalker behavior. That is dangerous behavior. And you have something in your mind that isn't quite right if you feel like that's okay, that's normal. And unless somebody has criminally violated you, you don't got no business doing that. And even if somebody did criminally violate you in a way that they need to have criminal charges and you need to contact the police, you need to leave that investigation to the police. That's what you need to do. You don't need to be on here showing your whole ass and you feel powerful because you have said someone's name or you have said someone's address or you have identified their family members or you have found a mugshot from a moment in their life where they weren't their best or you out their family business or their divorce records or like what are we doing? Not we, because I would never, ever, I would never do something like that. And I don't understand the mentality behind the people that do. And the digging that has gone on that led to a very large current situation with Saul's, Chewy, Rose, and whoever else is in that fuckery. I see people having lives, talking shit, which everyone's entitled to do, but they're brewing side quests. They're brewing cauldrons of side bullshit to go with this bullshit. Talking shit about Mimi, talking shit about cooks, talking shit about people who are not even involved in this. And you know what kicked this off mostly for me this evening was Mimi felt the need to show her pictures from when she was assaulted in a domestic violence situation, and she was brutally harmed. And, we were driving home from dinner and I was listening to the live and I looked down at my screen and all I could do was just cry. It's all I could do. And if that makes me weak, I don't care. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed to speak my real feelings about it. Now, say what you want and do what you want. Here's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Every single one of the people who are heavily invested into something right now that's going on this app and is affecting people in real life, we're all human beings. Where is the fucking humanity? I have so had it with the fuck shit. People being mean and nasty, saying things about people, saying things to people, just being horrible humans. We need to stop. It needs to stop. Everyone has a goal on here, I believe. I mean, some people just come on here just to kick it and pass time. It's a hobby. Um, I have hobbies on here too. I work a lot of hours, but this is how I blow off steam. And I also want Gypsy Rose Blanchard off the internet forever. Because when I'm blessed enough to have grandchildren, I don't want my grandchildren to see a woman who brutally murdered her mother being worshipped online, monetizing online, and thinking that it's cute or that it's okay. Because it's not. I don't want a 35-year-old woman appealing to a younger family member of mine and them thinking, this is what's going to happen. Oh, wow. I'm really mad at my mom. If I unalive her, I have to spend 8 years in prison. I'm going to come out and be a millionaire. Mm-mm. I don't want that. The Mackenzie Sharillas and the Gypsy Rose Blanchards and the Casey Anthonys of the world, no. No, ma'am. That's not what we're doing. That's not what I want for any future generation of my family. My grandchildren, great grandchildren, and so on and so forth when I'm long dead and gone. The world is going to continue to evolve, and I don't want it to evolve in a way that behavior is fucking normal. No. But even though I make posts about Gypsy, I say nasty things about Gypsy, but am I lying? No, I'm not lying. I'm telling the damn truth. I'm giving my damn opinion, and I'm not being nasty to somebody for no reason or about somebody or speaking about somebody in a very negative way for no reason. Baby, everything I put out there evolves from truth, her truth, proven truth, evidentiary truth, case file truth, Freedom of Information Act documented truth, right from the court, right from lawyers, right from everything, not from her fucking mouth. Every single thing that I put out there is based on truth that is available for all of us to see. I have posted several of her personal videos that she made for Nick. That's truth. If I want to have commentary on it or give my opinion, this is the United States of America. It's 250 years old as of yesterday. And for 250 years, people have the ability to speak their fucking truth about whatever they want. And that doesn't mean that people can't do it about other topics or whatever. But what I see, I'm talking about the infighting. I think everybody sees the infighting, they hear about the infighting, and sure, it's fun after a while, but we're tired, y'all. When is everybody just gonna fucking stop? When's everyone going to stop? Stop threatening people. Stop saying you know where people live and you know where they lay their head at night. And Sheena, I'm talking to you too. Bree, talking to you too. And a whole bunch of other people who have done it, might actively be doing it. People who threaten to do it, people who talk about it behind the scenes. I'm looking at you, Chewy. People getting messages to do this, that, and the third, or whatever, or asking for information if anybody knows something about somebody. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's becoming stressful. It's becoming not fun. We are all human. We're also fucking adults, y'all. This isn't high school, middle school, summer camp. This is real life. There's people who have had police called to their home. There's people who've lost jobs. There's people who have been harassed, threatened, stalked, and most recently, all of the above. So many things that we have all witnessed that are going on. And now to have a woman be threatened with things that someone threatened them with. I'm just going to say it because I already have this for 18 and over anyway. For Chewy to say that if Sauls would come to his house, he's just going to take it and he's going to give it to her and he's going to whatever. He's recently talked about bashing her head in or something. Extreme physical violence, okay? Taking her life. Looking up every day to see on GPS how far her house is from his and convincing himself not to go there. This is very, very scary behavior. It's scary behavior. It's unnecessary behavior. I was listening to a live early tonight where, and I don't know where the person got their information, but they said that, that gentleman may, well, they said he is, but I'm going to say may because I don't know shit about this person aside from what I see on the internet. They said that, he is allegedly manic. I'm saying allegedly. This person did not say allegedly. I will say allegedly. Allegedly, this person's manic. This person has, the alcohol, possibly substances, and mania, and all the stuff and things all mixed in there. And here's the thing: all of those may possibly be true, and they may not be true. But Chewy is a man. He is a human being, and he is responsible for his own actions. Rose, she is a woman. She is a human being. She is responsible for her actions. They're both responsible for their own words. Rose is not responsible for his. Rose is only responsible for hers. Rose is defending her husband. Most women would defend her husband. Me? Well, my husband would never say something like that. But if he did, you wouldn't catch my ass out here defending it. No, ma'am. No, sir. Nope. I do not condone any violence to any person. I do not condone any threat of bodily harm in any way to any person. I do not condone sexual violence of any kind. I do not condone homophobia of any kind. We are all people. It doesn't matter. Black, white, purple, red, green, yellow. If you like men, if you like women, if you like both, if you like furries, I don't give a shit. That's not my business. You know what is my business? What goes on in my house. That's my business. That's my place. That's my business. What goes on in my family. That's my business. Who people love and who they want to share their life with, that's none of my business. It ain't affecting anything that's going on in my house. It ain't affecting anything that's going on in your house. Now, privately, you're entitled to your own feelings about that. Some people have opinions about that based off religion. Some people have opinions about that just based on their own personal beliefs and feelings or how they were raised. That's not my business why you have an opinion that you have. I know I love all people, unless you're an asshole to me. I don't love you. I can love a stranger, but if you're an asshole to me, even if I know you, mm, I'm going to avoid you. I'm going to stay away from you because I don't want that energy in my life. And nobody on this internet needs to be worried about who's sleeping with who's doing what with who. And it's just none of anybody's business. It's also none of anyone's business where someone lives unless they choose to share that information with you. People start talking about, oh, did you hear so and so's real name is blah, blah. Oh, I peace out. I peace out so fast because for me and my conscience, hey, little mama, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm walking back and forth, and I'm not really looking at my phone. I'm just kind of ranting. I'm walking outside because I'm walking my daughter's dog. So I don't understand how people are like, oh, it's been said to me. I know where you lay your head at night. Good for you. Good for you. I know where you lay yours too. Because when I reported your ass to the police, they found out. And they shared that shit with me. Period. Um, so the interesting, like, that's not fair. It's not funny. I know that when it was done to me, it was done in an attempt to silence me. You knowing where I live is not going to make me be quiet about anything ever. I will say what I want. I will share my opinions, and no one will silence me. And I'll still speak on it. I don't care. I know why that person did what they did. I know who gave them my government name, and it's been dealt with. And if it goes any further, it'll continue to be dealt with. Period. I've been threatened to be doxxed. I've been threatened that somebody knows what my driver's license picture looks like. That was not a fact either. See, because I was getting cancer treatment when I had my driver's license photo taken. I don't have any hair in that picture. Yeah, I also don't have blue eyes. Never did. Period. Poo. My parents are not blonde hair, blue eyed either. Neither one of them. So aside from any of that malarkey and horseshit, this is the kind of shit that people are talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And just because, like, I see a comment, I'm not going to just say who it is, but I see a comment about public information, whatever. That's awesome. That's awesome. But guess what? If I tell someone any of my identifiable information, that still doesn't mean that I want that person to look me up. And really, it doesn't give that person the right to do that. Is this a free country? Sure. But if you're that weird, stop. Go outside, take 5 deep breaths, and touch some grass. Hug a tree. Go for a walk. Because all this stuff that's going on, it's not right. It's not healthy for the person who you're trying to collect information on and spread that disease to other people, but it's also not healthy for you, the person who's looking for it. And how does it really make these people feel? How would they feel if their behaviors were exposed to their family, their parents or children, or the person that they love, their partner in life, husband, wife, whoever? How would they feel if that information got out about them? I posted a clip earlier. I thought that I had the entire live from March when my live was shared with Saul's, probably by me. Could have been other people too, because people share out my live when I go live. And she came in and she told us that someone went to Rose or Chewy or both's Facebook, found some song that some young boy, I think, was singing, and it's homophobic and it's against her and she's being targeted and all the stuff and things. I want to know. I have so many questions. I actually don't want to know because I don't care enough. Okay, I don't care how a person can say a post on someone's Facebook page from 3 years earlier is an attack at them. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I mean, that's like open season. Like you can go on Facebook and anybody who is on this app, if they happen to have any kind of a post that is pro or against something that you are pro or against about, doesn't mean that you're being targeted. That's fucking weird. You were looking for a problem, and that person, Sparky, brought you the problem. You said in my live that you asked Sparky if, to confirm like what state they're from or area that they're from, whatever it was. And she checked it out on their Facebook page, came back to you, reported back to you, and also shared with you that song, allegedly. I don't want to blame Sparky for shit, but I know Sparky was in my live that night too. I thought I had the recording because I saved it, but they only save for 30 days. And until now, I didn't know that. So I just have clips from the recording, including the one where Salz was so outraged that Hannah was not going to go on a quote unquote witch hunt and go against Chewy and Rose for a song that was posted on their page 3 years ago, that she said, "Oh, Hannah, would it be better or would it be different if it was a song about lynching?" Which is extremely grossly inappropriate and extremely offensive. And I responded to it significantly. And then it was like, "Oh, well, what about when I said something about me and you weren't whatever? Oh, I'm yelling at you now, but you're mad that I didn't yell when you told me that you're accusing these people of being homophobic?" I don't know them like that to judge whether or not they are, but guess what? Guess what, y'all? It's not my fucking business if they are. Okay? That's not my business. Just like it's not your business if I'm homophobic, right? I'm not, for the record. It just we're not going to talk about religion and politics and stuff and things on the internet unless we want to. I choose not to. I don't think it's a place for that, especially on an app with a bunch of strangers. But it is not my business if somebody's homophobic, if they're pro-choice, if they're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian. None of that's my business. It's not my business, y'all. It's not my business if they have $1 million or they don't. It's not my business how many children they have, who their spouse is, what their spouse or their criminal record may or may not be. If their kids are decent people. None of that's my fucking business. And if somebody chooses to share something personal about themselves, that's not for you to share with other people. Because if that person trusted you with a little bit of their private information, be it their real name, where they live, their spouse's name, their kids, anything about their kids, that is not for you to talk about. And more specifically, it is not for you to weaponize. I'm so sick of seeing the indecency on this app. It's disgusting. And even tonight and yesterday, people holding lives to spread more hate, to further all of the chaos that's already going on. What is happening? What are we doing to each other? What are we doing? This isn't right. This has to stop. To be religious, you don't have to, you could pretend like you're Luciferian. You all the things. We are all people. And all of the craziness going on that's just tearing each other apart, and it's just an infected cancer throughout this app. It's not right. It has to stop. And we all have to make it a commitment to do our part and not passing it around, participating in it, or sharing it. None of it. We have to stop. Everybody has to stop. There has to be a line. And everyone is going over that line in one way or another. You know? Everyone is. Whether we're participating in it, tee-heeing about it in a live, or doing whatever, talking shit behind the scenes and just keeping the cancer growing. Please, you guys, we have to stop. Chewy and Rose's life isn't our business. Saul's life isn't our business. Saul's has her own faults, and Chewy definitely got problems now. I'm not going to speak on Rose because that's his wife. She defends her husband. It is what it is. But she, to my knowledge, other than defending her husband, she ain't never done anything. And if she did, it ain't none of my fucking business. She didn't do it to me. That's not my business. But what's taking place publicly becomes everyone's business. Everyone's going to have an opinion about it. And the only thing I'm speaking on is the hatred that is just evolving, and more people are tearing each other apart and tearing each other down and finding ways and reasons to just be nasty about people because they don't like the way they talk, or they talk too much, or this one this and that one that, and blah 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 blah. And then they bring up some dumb bullshit from the past about that person just to talk shit. It has to stop. It's festering and infecting this entire app. It's so frustrating and it's so sad. When are we going to stop? When is any of it going to stop? People are leaving this area of the true crime community out of frustration. There's many true crime communities on TikTok, but this one specifically is known in other communities to be the most toxic space on the app. The Gypverse specifically. Both sides. Not just pro or anti, because the anti is, there are no innocent people over here. Everybody has participated in craziness. And all I'm asking everybody now is to make a commitment to separate yourself from all of it. If it doesn't involve you and it didn't show up in your inbox or your live, let it be. Just let it alone. It's okay to take a minute and say, nope, I don't want to do that. I apologized to everybody in my life. Most recently as last week, because Jameson decided to come into my life, and oh boy, another dog saw us walking. Jameson decided to come into my life and spread some fuckery about how she thinks that Liam took her friend's research or work or whatever the case may be. Never having yet even brought it to the attention of that person who has a YouTube account, Billy Knox. I tried to point out that we're all working off the same information, so a sentence that somebody writes could be similar. Maybe someone's emulated, maybe not, but she went from saying it's near exact to, oh, it's not like that. It just sounds like it. Like she was all over the fucking place. And of course, Chewy was riding hard for her and defending her. But then when she dropped down out of my live, Chewy felt differently. He said that she was wrong and she shouldn't have come in my live like that and all the stuff and things. And he was apologizing profusely. But when I went back later and I watched Chewy's live before he showed up in my live with all this bullshit with Jameson, They were hee-heeing it up about how they're going to go out and hurt some feelings because they knew that we were reading that book in my live that night. Chewy didn't tell me that part. And I'm just going to leave that at that. He said something totally different when he was over with us. And I'm disappointed. They didn't get the reaction that they were expecting, that's for sure. What they did get is a lot of pushback because, number one, there was no proof. One example that Miss Jameson decided to give was not what Jameson said it was going to be. Paragraph one of his book versus uh, her friend talking in her YouTube video. She said it was nearly verbatim to, well, it's not exact, to, well, it's not plagiarism. She was all over the place, and it was very frustrating. I extended my kindness with pushback. And a lot of stuff has kicked off even since then. Chewy has had lives talking about, oh, this person stole work and yada, yada, yada. And he's going to report the book and whatever on Amazon, have it taken down. Like, just meanness. Now, I don't know Chewy, and I don't know Jameson. But what I do know is that I've had to apologize for the second time to people who enjoy, hey, GNT Queen, to people who enjoy coming into my live because I have let people in and on my panel that I normally wouldn't. The first time I did it was what I mentioned earlier. When Sauls found her way to my live, she was doing a world tour of lives. I believe that was the first day, because I heard later in the morning that she had been on like 5 or 6 other lives before mine, telling the same damn story. Because she was going on a press tour and, Chewy and Rose are homophobes and cancel them and do this, that, and the third and whatever. And I think for myself, I'm not going to do anything to anybody because of what someone says. It started a lot of uproar, and it kicked off on that day. And clearly it hasn't ended. Both parties are guilty. Both parties have done things that they shouldn't have done to incite the attention of the other person in a negative way. They're both guilty of that. There's a lot of proof out there. What I wish that we still had were the old recordings of the lives, but from what I understand, those channels have been removed. If we had those, boy oh boy, we could have us a good time, because both parties are guilty. It doesn't make it okay that one has severely threatened the safety and life of Sauls. That's not helping any situation. And I don't know what is going to come of that. And I honestly don't want to speak on it anymore. But in saying that, the other party is not innocent either. She did not deserve to be threatened in that manner at all. There is no excuse for anybody to have those threats launched against them. Period. Hard stop. But these two have participated in the game up until this point voluntarily. They're both launching shit back and forth at each other. They're both constantly messaging. Mentioning each other. They're both constantly talking about it behind the scenes, in the scenes, on Discord, outside of Discord. You get the point. You get the point. Neither one of them have stopped since it started. And it's not okay. And this is why I'm saying that we all have to remember that we're human. And it's humanity. We have to start taking better care of each other. You don't have to like somebody, but why are you going to sit and say terrible things about them that is unwarranted? You want to sit and talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard for 9 hours and say things that are warranted? I'm with you. I'll come. I'll support warranted behavior. Okay, completely warranted behavior. All the other craziness that goes on around here, you guys know what I mean. You know the difference. You know the difference. Absolutely inexcusable behavior. Making posts about Audrey and her mother's situation, calling people a fraud, making up lies about anything that you can possibly think of. I've seen it all. And it's sad and it's disgusting and it's scary. And I mean, thankfully, it looks like none of us are ever running for president, but a lot of these people, like I said before, are fully grown adults. We're not talking even 20 somethings here, okay? Many of these people are middle-aged adults. And I can't understand why the actions that are taking place, the words that are being spoken, the exchanges, the constant the constant talk about it on lives, and then bringing other people into it because your fucking life is so miserable that you have to say something about someone's voice, or say something about their past experience must not have been real, or they must have deserved it because someone said, oh, well, Saul's was poking at Chewy and Rose for months now, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't mean that she deserves to be threatened or harassed in the way that she is. And that person wasn't saying that either. But that person was accused of that. And, for example, Saul's turned around and said, she invalidated Mimi's domestic violence situation, which brought me to a live that was very, very sad and made me cry on the way home from dinner. And it's just, we keep excusing the behavior, and people like Sheena come out and be like, where's the outrage for this? Where's the outrage for that? And make a joke about keeping a list about what are we allowing and what are we not allowing these days. And, oh, you have to hold everybody accountable if you're going to hold one person. I don't care who makes the rules. I don't care if it's Sheena. I don't care. I don't care. What I care about is that there not be a need to have those kind of rules. Everybody has to stop the threats, the threat of harm, the threat of revealing something about someone, the threat of a phone number, the threat of a job, the threat of their family, their spouse, their husband, their place of business, their address, their government name, and anything about it all has to stop. It all has to stop. And we know without saying there are big perpetrators of that kinds of stuff. And they're across the aisle. And that person and people over there are claiming that they want better too. And that this is all awful and disgusting. And we don't have to share a meal, but we can all agree that it needs to stop. But you can't preach for it to stop and then practice the behavior. You just can't. You just can't do it. It doesn't work that way. Right? It just doesn't. People can't say, preach and whatever, and oh, yeah, I agree. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do whatever, and then do it. Stick to your word. Be a person of your word, because at the end of the day, it's all you got. All you have is your word. I want everybody to sit down, to just sit down, take a deep breath, and stop. And if you know that you're genuinely not a good person, and if you know that you genuinely don't give a fuck about the words that are coming out of my mouth right now, then I ask you to leave the app. There's a dark web for you where you can do all that fuckery. I ask you to leave the app. I ask for people to stop being so hateful to each other. In this community, we all know each other, but so many people are hateful to people. And there's no reason. Clearly, we have one major thing in mind. We both like something. We both like a topic, right? Whether it's gypsy or just true crime in general. We might like other things too. We might like animals. We all might like seafood. We might like fried chicken. You know, we might like overly obsessively clean our houses. I don't know. But we all got here and we all learned each other's names. And then everybody started passing judgment for one reason or another. There's people in here who say awful things about me. I don't even know who they are. I don't even know how they know who I am. It's weird to me. It's very strange to me. And it's also okay because thank you. Thank you for not letting me find out by you being my friend person and then I had to figure it out, or you did something real crazy so that I would figure it out, Lindsay. I'm asking everybody to just pause. Pause and stop. The hatred, the salacious gossip, this stuff going on with Chewy and Sal's, that's serious real life stuff. Serious real life stuff. And at the end of the day, I don't have to agree with Saul's panel hopping while all this serious shit is going on. I don't have to agree or disagree with that. I don't have to agree or disagree that she won't stop talking about it. I don't have to agree or disagree that she's still slinking around on this app with all this stuff going on. I don't have to do that because that's not my place. But a person who wants privacy is out here all over the internet talking about the thing that she wants privacy about. And no shade, no tea, girl, stop. As far as Chewy, my opinion, he needs a break, and maybe it would help to talk to somebody about whatever you got on your heart that is causing you to make violent threats to a woman that you don't even know. On that note, this was not ever going to be an entertainment live. I just wanted to talk about it and get it off my chest. And I hope that what I'm saying makes sense to you. I am very tired. It was a very long weekend. I hope it makes sense to you. I hope it taps in somewhere. I hope that you will take it and really think about it and give it a whirl. I know there's a lot of people on here who don't do any of those things. Not everyone is guilty, right? But we're all guilty of getting a little too caught up in a little bit of salacious gossip and then spreading it and then adding our own to it. And then it becomes a big ugly monster like this mess is now, right? Let's pause before you share that next post about somebody else. Unless it's about Gypsy Bitch, foot on neck 24/7, period. We will do everything to make sure that that person cannot have success on this app, period. TikTok needs to be more serious about not letting that person have success on this app. I appreciate you listening to me. I know only a few of you have popped in and then popped out. I'm aggravated about this entire situation. I'm also sad about this situation. There was a time where I enjoyed getting to know all three of these people. And Sal's especially. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand why people do the things that they do. And maybe I'm not meant to. And I'm grateful that I don't understand shit sometimes, because I don't want to be able to be of the mind space to try to figure that out. I'll be blissfully naive, I suppose, about certain things, and probably forever. But everybody needs to take a break. Everybody needs to stop. Let this very private situation dwell down. And that goes for people who are attending lives where Sal's is talking about it. This is a really serious situation. Maybe she's very nervous and just wants to talk with people who know what's going on. And so she keeps coming on and keeps coming on. Listen, don't participate. It's a private matter. And just as much as some people could say Chewy's not thinking right, she's probably not thinking right now either. I know I wouldn't be. I know I wouldn't be. Offer support as you can. Don't participate in the lives. Don't participate in the gossip. Don't even window lick. Let it go. Don't feed it. Don't give it any energy whatsoever. That is a private matter that even no matter what we all do, we can't help with. There's nothing we can do to help that situation. Zero. That's something that has to be handled between those two people. But this was never meant to be an entertainment live. I just wanted to pop on for a few minutes, blast my big ass mouth opinion, and call it a night. I hope that everyone will give my words some thought. I hope that on YouTube, when it gets posted, I hope that a lot of people will hear my message and really give it some good thought. And you don't have to like somebody, you don't have to love somebody, but we're all people. Y'all don't walk through the street in your neighborhood and walk past one of your neighbors that you don't know and say, "Yeah, you fucking idiot. I don't like the sound of your voice." Right? But they do it here on the internet. And if you do that shit, you don't belong out here. You don't belong out here. Leave these good folks alone. I want TikTok and this community especially to become a kinder, gentler place to share thoughts and opinions and whatever. Unfortunately, there are sides, and the sides, there's multiple sides, and the sides are not friendly with each other. It's like a competition, right? Well, I'm not doing that. I'm anti GRB, and I forever will be. But be kinder to each other, y'all. Like I said, except Gypsy, fuck that bitch. Be kinder to each other. Do better every single day. Every day, try to be better than you were yesterday. We're in World War III. It's also America's 250th birthday. It's summertime. It's oppressively hot in most of the nation. Just take time to breathe and just be kind. Please try to be more kind. Every day, do something different than the day before that's a little more kind on this app. And those of you who this doesn't apply to because you're a fucking perfect angel, dropped down by baby Jesus himself, I love you. Thank you. Spread that. Have a good night, y'all.